Trust yourself, your health depends on it. We are talking about intuition here, people. We are talking about the power of listening to ourselves and trusting that calling, even when things on the outside are pulling you in a different direction. Even when other people are telling you you should do something different to what your instinct tells you. Even when they have huge amounts of certainty, knowledge, information, lots of letters after their name, have read a million books, are trained up to the hilt. Your intuition is always key, always, every time. And that is how I healed from cancer. That's it, in a nutshell. It was trusting my intuition. Now, obviously, it's a bigger story than that. But without that connection into my intuition, I wouldn't have been able to make the right decisions for myself at every turn. So this is why this becomes one of the foundational pieces in our healing journey. We have to get that piece in place first. Now, life is so busy most of the time these days, especially if you're in the Western world. We are running around. We have social media. Hello, I'm beaming onto social media now. We have our emails. We have the television. We have all our activities. We have our jobs, our families, our friends, our colleagues. And most of our life is full of activity of some description. So in effect, most of the time, most of us are human doings, not human beings. And I would say a good chunk of us need to focus a little bit more on being human beings, because it is in the being space. I'm just going to tilt the camera a bit. It is in the being space that the healing occurs. The doing space has a place too. There is always a place for that. But I would bet that most people are in a state of slight overaction over being too much in stillness. And there is a reward in Western society, really, about the more you do, the better you are, the more successful. And so that perpetuates that myth. We've got to be seen to be active and involved and engaged and out there, and I'm here and I'm there and I'm everywhere. Wow. And oh my God, it drives me crazy. It really does. And I get caught up in it too. And I get caught up in other people's ideas, opinions, suggestions, advice. There is always place for that. But at the end of the day, it has to come back for what's true to you. And that is where you have to make your next move in life from. Whether it's with your healing, your relationships, your work, but I'm really focusing on health and well-being. But you could apply this to anything. And so one of the first things I did when I got my cancer diagnosis nearly 20 years ago was stop. Most people with that big C word thrown at them are likely to go into panic. And I didn't have that panic. I'm sure there was fear in there, but I remember thinking, oh my God, this is like a big red sign, stop. And that is exactly what I did. I stopped. And I spent a whole week where I didn't really speak to anyone, and I sort of drifted in and out of meditation because I was really looking for my own truth. I knew I didn't want to follow what the doctors were suggesting I do for many reasons. And the only other option was in me. So how was I going to activate that? And so by slowing down and stopping and starting to tune in, I was starting to be able to hear my inner wisdom and the wisdom of the body come through. Do this, go there, say this, do that. And that is how my path unfolded. And eventually it became all the four proponents: movement, mindset, meditation, meals, me time, and mood, emotions, the 6 areas that I look at in Supercharge Your Life. But the 4 main areas, the emotions, the spirit, the body, and the mind, after 4 years, those are the areas I had worked on. And that only happened because I stopped. I made myself the priority, and I stopped putting everything and everyone else first. And it wasn't easy. And people will always make excuses as to why they can't. And that's fine. I think each to their own, definitely. But I know for me, if my survival's on the line again, I'm throwing everyone else out the boat first. I'm no good to anyone if I'm dead. That's how I look at it, which, big word, sounds extreme, but it's the truth. But don't wait for your survival to be on the line to activate your intuition. That's a crazy, crazy way of living. Let me and people like me share with you the wisdom of healing yourself by listening to yourself and moving forwards. And this is exactly what we work on in my spiritual coaching and healing sessions. We work on activating your intuition. And how we do that, I look at your energy field. I use my clairvoyance. And I look at your energy field, the electromagnetic field of energy around your body. And I talk about what I see going on. I usually see it comes in the way of colors and mental image pictures. And I'm looking for what's affecting you being you in the world, basically. You be living the life you want to live. And so there may be frequencies affecting your health and well-being. There may be frequencies affecting your ability to make decisions. There will definitely be frequencies affecting your intuition. And because that is where everything comes from. If you can connect with that intuition, you then know what to eat. You know what movement to do. You know where to go and put yourself. You know what people to be around. You know what action to take next, what inspired action to take next, because you're tuned into yourself. So when we do the spiritual coaching and healing sessions, we look at and clear whatever is in the way. And I will tell you what your brightness is as a spirit, who you are in yourself, and what's affecting that. And what's affecting that in your life, how that's playing out for you. And so this is how we activate your intuition. We might talk about spiritual practice that allows you to continually work on this. It could be meditation, it could be journaling, it could be a coloring exercise. I've used all kinds of things over the years with people. Have a most wonderful client recently who activated her own meditation practice again after she got thrown out of whack because of COVID and the pandemic. And we put her back in her place of power. And that is what I aim to do, because when you've got your intuition, you don't need anything else. You can make those decisions for yourself. So I have always said over the years, if I'm doing my job well, I'm almost putting myself out of business, because I'm putting people in a space of such self-empowerment. They don't need to come back for counsel, spiritual counsel and guidance all the time. They might come back every now and again for check-in and maintenance, but they are in a place where they are able to activate that for themselves and move forwards comfortably in their own life, trusting themselves. So if you're struggling to find that place of instinct within you and intuition, or you feel lost and you're not quite sure what to do next, and it could be any area. It could be any area. It doesn't have to be health and well-being. I've worked with people on every topic possible. But if you're feeling that sense of disconnection or lost, or just a bit off kilter, or you're not sure what to do next, or you've got some burning issue you've got to make a decision on, DM me the word healing, and I can give you more information about what I do, book you in for a session. Sessions start at $199. We do them over Zoom even, and there is a recording of your session. Take care. Have a lovely afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world.